want to say Merry Christmas to everybody? You want to say Merry Christmas? Check the stockings. Hi everyone. Welcome or welcome back to Novel Idea. I have been a little MIA on here and I'm so sorry, but not sorry at the same time. It's just been a wonderful season of just kind of being together and celebrating, and it's been lovely. But I do have some things to talk to you about. So I'm going to be putting up several videos in a row over the next couple of days. And it's very early in the morning here in Idaho, so you'll have to forgive the lighting. And that's probably going to be the case over the next few days because this is the time of day that I usually have to record something, so I'm going to do it. So I thought today, ease our way back into doing videos, I thought that I would just do a book haul. And these are books that, there's one set of books that I purchased from Kim at Middle of the Book March. And you're not going to see all of the ones that I purchased from her because some of them I've set aside as ones that I don't really want, but I bought these kind of as a lot. And then some that were gifted to me, and a couple that I've just picked up secondhand. So real quick, most of these I've already read, but I didn't own copies of them, or I owned a beat up copy and I wanted to replace it. So we're just gonna jump in, you guys, and get started. Can you lay down and be a good girl? Can you lay down and be a good girl, please? Please? Okay. She's gonna lay right there. Let's start with the books that I got from Kim. I bought a bunch of the Macmillan Pocket Collection books. What are they called? They are called the Macmillan Collector's Library is what it says on the inside. They are these little ones with the turquoise robin's egg blue kind of color and the really pretty ribbon bookmarks, and these beautiful little end papers in every single one. So anyway, I picked up The Scarlet Letter, Moby Dick, Wilkie Collins' The Moonstone. There we go. Alexander Dumas' The Three Musketeers. The Importance of Being Earnest and Other Plays. Jane Eyre, which if you know me, you know I already have like 4 copies of this, but it doesn't matter. I love it. My Antonia by Willa Cather. Poems on Nature. These are by different authors, but the introduction is by Helen MacDonald. Lark Rise to Candleford, which I just read this year. Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. Leaves of Grass and Other Selections by Walt Whitman. Emma by Jane Austen. I think this is actually going to be my Jane Austen July reread this year. North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, which I had a horrible copy of, so I'm really happy to have this one. And finally, Walden by Henry David Thoreau. So those are the Macmillan Collector's Library ones that I got from Kim. So happy to own them. I did not own most of those, and I think, is there any there that I haven't read? There's probably a couple of the plays in Oscar Wilde's plays that I haven't read, although I have read The Importance of Being Earnest. I think I've read them all. So they're just additions to the library because I've already read them, so they're not going on the TBR. Okay, and then the other ones that I have bought, let's go over those. I bought The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. This is actually the only Kelly Barnhill book I've read that I really like. I have not read any others that I really like. I do not think this is middle grade, which is what it's marketed as. I don't think it's that, but I found it at Goodwill. It was 99 cents, so I got it. I picked up The Professor by Charlotte Bronte, which I have been told now, I did not know it when I got it, but I was told that this is the same thing as Villette, but in a little shorter form, but basically the same story. Then I also picked up The Minims. I got this after listening to Miranda Mills talk about this set of stories, and this is just the first one in the set. And here, I'll read to you what it is. It's The Minims, it must be said, had good reason to hold themselves aloof. It was not that they felt superior, having lived in Brocklehurst Grove far longer than anybody else. With the exception of Miss Quigley, they would hardly have known what feeling superior or inferior meant. It was simply that they would not dare to mix with outsiders. They were not human, you see, at least not in the normal sense of the word. So really excited to dive into this. I think this will probably be a middle grade March read. So this one I have not read. The Professor I have not read. Then I also have Mystery and Manners. I'm going to reread this for Flannery O'January, which is not actually officially happening this year, but I still want to honor it in my heart. So I'm going to be reading Mystery and Manners, Flannery's, just little bits and pieces of prose work that she did. So that's what this is. And then I picked up a copy of Tarzan, The Jewels of Opar by Edgar Rice Burroughs. This is a horrible cover, but it's in really good condition. It's a nice copy of it, but I have been buddy reading the Tarzan series with Dave and Olive from Book Blather, and I did not own a copy of this. My library did not own a copy of this. I couldn't find it on audio, so I had to purchase a copy. And the first one that I purchased was in absolutely horrible condition. Even though it said it was in good condition, it was far from good. So they replaced it for me. So it's been a process trying to get this book. But Jewels of Opar, I'll be reading this in January with Dave. Speaking of Dave, let's go over the gifted books. He heard me talk about this book as one of the series that I would like to read. And I haven't been able to get my hands on the first book in the series. And this was given to his daughter who didn't really have much of a desire to read it. And so he passed it on to me. And I'm so glad that he did. So I have Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons, and now have no excuse to not begin the series. It's a big book. You see how many pages it is. I know nothing about the series other than several of my online friends have really enjoyed it. And so I'm gonna try it. And it is, oh my goodness, 739 pages. Okay, then I got a package from Nichole, who is on Instagram. She's Lilac Cottage, I think, is her. I'll put it in the Poppy. I'll put it in the description box below. Are you gonna help me? Why don't you come over here? And I've actually already looked, but she sent this to me for finding out that I had 600 subscribers. This is the way that I found out that I had 600 subscribers. I didn't look. I really don't pay attention to subscriber count too much. So unless somebody tells me that I'm reaching some sort of a milestone, I don't really notice. I started a booktube channel because I love books and I love talking with them and I love being a part of this community. So anyway, she went on my Amazon wish list and she found Mary Oliver's devotions, and she sent it to me, and I'm so excited. So this is one I haven't read either. So far we have 5. This is the 5th book that I have hauled now that I haven't read. So 5 more on that TBR list. I love this little photo that they included on the front of her feeding the bird. So pretty. Anyway, I've read most of Mary Oliver's works that are out there, but this is a compilation and I'm very excited to have this. And I think that there are some previously unpublished works in there. So thank you, Nichole. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Few more gifts to go over now. Victoria from A Musical Bookworm sent me Anne of Green Gables devotional, and I am so excited about this. I have a devotional that I was already going to begin, but I think I might do them both because I'm excited to do this one as well. This is by Rachel Dodge, and it is a chapter by chapter companion for kindred spirits. So I might have to reread Anne of Green Gables and do the devotional along with it. I just love this. Thank you, Victoria. Tiffany from Beautiful Minutia sent me a Christmas gift, and this is The Normal Christian Life by Watchman Nee. This is one of his I have not read. I think I have only read one based on the book of Ephesians, and it is Sit, Walk, Stand, I believe is the name of it. I think maybe I've read one more. I read one that he wrote while he was in prison, but that might be most of his books actually. I don't know if there is, let's see what this one says. It says Watchman Nee's great Christian classic, tracing in practical terms the steps along the pathway of faith and presenting the eternal purpose of God in simple terms. The central theme, Christ our life. So that's what The Normal Christian Life is about. I'm very excited. I don't think Tiffany has read this one either, so we may let you read this. then my kids, my son and my daughter-in-law for Christmas found a couple of books for me. They're very old. You can't really read I couldn't read it anyway, the spine, but it is The World's 100 Best Short Stories, Volume 7, Women. And I don't know what that means. And like I said, there's no like anything on here to tell me about it. It just says World's Best Short Stories. And I think it was published in, 1910 was the original published date. And this volume was 1927. So, and this is what it looks like on the inside. World's 100 in 10 volumes. This is volume 7. And then they also found an old copy of John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress. I have read Pilgrim's Progress probably 4 or 5 times in my life. And now that I have this book, I might have to read it once more. This one is, I don't see a date for this one. Oh wait. No. This is the inside of it. And I think that there are probably a few more of those template layout, like colored plates and things in here. So it is illustrated in a way, but I don't see there's a biography of John Bunyan, Life of John Bunyan at the beginning of the book, but I'm not seeing a copyright date. So I don't know how old it is. To me, it looks like maybe the 1940s or 50s. I don't know though. Could be older. Lastly, really quick, we've got The Hidden Hand. This is by Eden Southworth. I have never read an Eden Southworth novel, and I put this on my stocking list and gave it to my husband, and he bought this for me for my Christmas stocking. It's one of those print on demand copies, and the writing is quite small. I have never read her. I've heard lots of really good things about this author, and she's somebody that I've been wanting to try, and I can't remember who recommended I start here, but this was the one that they recommended. So, The Hidden Hand, or Hidden Hand. This is really fun. So you can see that her name is Emma Dorothy Eliza, what is it? Naveet Southworth. And so E-D-E-N. That's how we get Eden. Not fun? Okay, and then he also got me another one of the Green Nose series. I only have 2 of these, and this is one of my all-time favorite series. And so this is another one of the installments in that series. It's a absolutely wonderful book series by Ellen Boston. And in fact, I think it's the only book series she wrote. The only novels she wrote were in this series. And they are all about a family who has lived in the same house for many, many generations in England. And they, the series opens with the current great-grandson of the occupant of the house coming to visit his great-grandmother for the very first time in his whole life and finding a true home at Green Knowe. Green Knowe is the name of the house. And all of the adventures, magical and otherwise, that happen to him as a result of coming home. And I just love it, love it. That's it. That's it, you guys. Those are the books that I have acquired in the last month or so. And it wouldn't be that many added to like the TBR. We ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that I added to my TBR shelf. Everything else I've already read. I'm just very thankful. Thank you so much to the people who sent me books and who allowed me to buy some books. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you all had a wonderful Christmas, and I will be back very soon with another video because, like I said, I've got to wrap up December. We got to talk about January. We need to talk about end of year statistics, all of that kind of stuff. So those will be boom, 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 boom this week. All right, everybody. I would love to know if you have any favorite books that are in here, or if anything in here has intrigued you to pick something up. I would love that. All right, everyone. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to. I just realized I actually have 9 books that I hauled that are going to be new to me. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9. So those are the ones that are getting added to my TBR shelf. And then these are the ones that I bought that are ones I've already read. Or were given. Bought or given. Okay. All right, now we'll say goodbye. Have a great day, everyone.